District 2,
Present.
District 3, present. District 4, District 5, District 6, District 7, District 8. And a new business will be added to the agenda in a new business. The new business added to the business. Can we get a motion to adopt the agenda?
I know that we adopted the agenda at 3 readings.
And this was moved by board member Humphrey, seconded by board member Wilson, that we adopt the agenda. All in favor? Aye. Item B. Consider to eliminate the following position effective October 3rd, 2025. 1, Director of Literacy. 2, Director of Instruction and Accountability. 3, Testing Coordinator, Parent Involvement. 4, Regular Education Bus Monitor. We just gonna do that.
Yes, sir. Please, your fiscal administrator.
Debbie.
Had a few things to mention to y'all today. I have, in the past, we've all talked about a lot of numbers. And tonight, we're just gonna cut to the chase, and we're not gonna talk about a lot of numbers, we're just gonna talk about the situation, okay? First, as you know, we have struggled the past few months to make payroll. It's been quite a struggle, it's very challenging. In addition, we currently have in excess of $500,000 that are invoices that are past due. We've only been able to bridge this gap by utilizing 2 of the certificates of deposit that you had on deposit with Kennesaw State Bank. We have 2 more certificates of deposit that are on the agenda for later tonight for you to approve us being able to access to make November and October payroll. In the school system, as we talked about before, about 75% of all the expenditures relate to salaries and benefits. Reduction in personnel cost is the only way that you can make a difference in your budget. It's just the only thing. Previously, we've done a RIF, and there were some savings from that. However, the savings were insufficient to get our budget balanced. Additional cuts are required. The savings that result from the positions that are being eliminated and the additional RIF will bring us much closer to our targeted numbers. Accordingly, other avenues of additional reductions are being looked at, and they'll take place soon. Please understand that once we reach the proper level of staffing, by virtue of these things that we're talking about today, we're gonna have a hiring freeze to keep that constant. We're gonna have to make those changes and then stick with it. The only possible way to meet payroll through the end of the year and bring the rest of that invoices up to date is to get the bond commission to approve a short-term loan for the school system. Now, in October, I'm gonna go before State Bond Commission, and I'm gonna plead the case for Madison Parish, where they'll allow us to get this loan. At that time, I'll be required to explain the issues that occurred which created the financial crisis, why the borrowing is needed, and then I'll have to provide details on how we're going to pay it back. The staffing reductions that are being implemented now will provide the strongest proof and really the only proof that will show that we'll be able to pay this debt back. So that's my presentation to you tonight. Again, we talked about a lot of numbers. Y'all heard those big numbers. So that's the presentation prior to your motions tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Any discussion from the board and the public?
We'll need to get a motion first, and second, then we'll ask.
You'll give a motion and second will accept the presentation.
I move that accept Ms. Debbie's presentation.
Mr. President, I think that we need a much more specific motion. I think the motion should track the agenda language. For instance, Mr. President, I move that we eliminate the following positions and then list them out, and that would be the more appropriate motion.
So I make a motion that we consider the elimination of the following positions effective October 15th, which we give a little more time.
Let me stop. I think the motion should be, that I move we eliminate, just straight to the point.
Okay. I make a motion that we eliminate the following positions October 15th. And the positions are Director of Literacy, Director of Instruction and Accountability, Testing Coordinator and Parental Involvement, and the Regular Education Plus Monitors.
Motion on the table, can we get a second?
I second the motion.
It's been moved by Board Member Parker, Bates, second, Board Member Crawford, second by Board Member Parker, that we, eliminate the position that has been called out to the public, to the board. Now, can we, board discussion? Board, come to the public, board discussion.
Okay, I didn't want to ask her, since we are going to be going to try to get the loan, is there a way to save some of these positions? Since we are going to apply for that loan? Like, for instance, custodian, librarian, counselor, bus managers, their income, I mean, I'm just not seeing like some of those who are going to apply for this big loan.
I'm gonna come up to the mic, so, and I'm not positive I heard everything you say, but you're asking because of the loan, could we eliminate some of these positions?
Some of like this, it's like stolen bus monitors, are they really taking that much away?
Well, actually, it's in the neighborhood of $60,000 a year. However, the direction we're going in by making these cuts that you have before you tonight, that's not enough. We still have more to do. Now, it's not just getting a loan. We get the loan, but then we gotta pay it back. So we've got to get well enough in our funds to make payroll, pay the bills, pay the loan back, and build up some funding so we're not in this situation anymore. I mean, you know, the loan is a temporary Band-Aid. That's just money coming in and money going out. When I did the projections in Allen Green and Williamson firm, the projections show actually a very bleak future for Madison Parish School Board if we do not get this loan. And then we're not going to have an excess if we pay it back. The projections not only include, the staffing staying constant. Once we make these cuts, the staffing has to stay constant, it can't grow. Also, the student count, you know, we've been in a decline, we have been in a decline this year. So if our student count drops anymore, I mean, the hole gets deeper. The only way to recover and build back is to make these cuts, make the additional ones that are coming, or some other things we might can figure out to do, which will be nominal because again, salary benefits are 75% of our budget. But, and then pay back the loan and try to go forward. Now, I also mentioned this, but this isn't until down the road in 2029. The bonds do pay out, they'll be currently now in the year 2029. And it's possible that the board could go back and try to continue the same thing once the bonds pay out. But, I mean, that's a lot of iffy things. And, you know, first, will the public do that? But secondly, that's way down the road. It's not anything that's going to help us now. If there was any other way, I would present it to you, but it's just not any other way.
So other than the low student count, can you say the biggest reason for this is due to the mismanagement of funds? I mean, what situation that is to this point?
All the situations that we've identified to the board for the past 2 to 3 months is what brought us to this point, yes.
So in other words, due to mismanagement, normally they have to leave, what I have to say, lose their job because of mismanagement. To me, I'm just saying, it just don't look like they should be cut from their job because of mismanagement. It would sound like a very, very low student count and all the children just left, so I can understand.
There were lots of revenues that came into the school system that were utilized in other areas rather than stability of the school system. Is that what you're asking?
There's no suggestion here that anyone is losing their job because of wrongdoing. As Ms. Finley has indicated, very tough decisions have to be made. When you have to trim your budget, the first thing to go may be the caviar, the steak, and the luxuries of life. What Ms. Finley has shared with me is that in her experience in other districts, some of these positions are not in those other districts. Other districts don't have bus monitors on every bus. It varies. But she has tried to make her decision based on things that will allow education to continue. Albeit we wish we were able to afford all of these positions, but we only can maintain the bare minimum. So I want to clarify that no one tonight is saying that anyone is losing their job for a particular reason, other than the financial reasons. Okay? So I want to make that clear to everyone. I would also be remiss if I did not introduce Ms. Moore. You wonder who this nice lady is over here? Christina joined our firm a couple of weeks ago. She's going to be accompanying me to various school boards, so just wanted to let you know who's sitting over here with me. But anyway, I just wanted to cut to your question and let you know.
To this board, we know what was going on. We knew before they came and when they came what situation we was going to be in. We tried as a board to say we got mismanagement of money. We tried to get an order. that was denied. This public is here, and they didn't hear all social rumors on Facebook, some of it not true, and I'm glad they're here tonight. Before John, before these people came. 2 years ago, it was told that we had financial problems. Everybody looked and attacked people. We told everybody. Myself questioned $3 million reimbursement that we did not apply for. You know what they did? You know what they did, John? Made me look like I was ignorant. And now look what we had. We asked these people, was told that we went, y'all saw the video, went to Baton Rouge. And they asked us, asked Dr. Golden, do you know you're giving up your authority when you bring a physical administrator in? He said yes. Now we can abide and we can say it. But we knew we should have stopped this when everybody was believing all the lies on social media. We ain't broke. We got money. Trying to save your job in. I want to say to y'all, this lady, from what they told us, is on right Miss Hargrave, is on right Miss Crawford, they told us that she had the authority. But my thinking on one issue, when you mentioned that we did not, nobody had bus monitors. I was the first bus monitor to be hired, and Dr. Butler remember, in 2020. And the reason why we brought bus monitors in, because the state troopers stopped us not more than once, more than twice, 3 times. Our kids would have their head out the window. Fights was all over that bus. In the last 5 years, I can't count 2 or 3 fights we done had with these bus monitors. I plead this to Ms. Crawford, way before the group came. Whatever we can do, we should try to save the bus money, because what's going to happen now? And I'm just warning you all. Fights gonna break out on these buses, and then they're gonna take you to school. Kids gonna be scared. They gonna go to bullying these children. And folks are gonna take their kids away from us because we do not have protection for these children. I know I was bus money for 4 years, didn't have one fight because we kept it in order. I know we got to cut. Now, I might get chewed out at the house, but I've been a bad person for 2 years. I'm actually defending this board. They hold us responsible because we should have, and the superintendent, and Parker, and all these folks, we should have stopped this before they got this bad. My thing is, Miss Benson, you know I told y'all, can the board, people that got these upper salaries, we all take a cut to try to eliminate from, you're going to have to cut somebody. But these board members, these bus monitors, I promise y'all, we're going to have a fight tomorrow once you kids know they're not here. I'm willing to take it, and the board should be willing to take it, and all these folks that got these high salaries should help them cut these salaries down to try to help eliminate. We can't stop everything. But we at the top. I saw this evening what our Congresswoman named Leto. We in a shutdown. Leto, we in a shutdown. You know what she said? I don't want no money until the shutdown is over. We have a board. People are getting fired. We got to come. Now this is my opinion, but I'm telling you, and I know y'all got to do y'all job, because if it wasn't you all wasn't here, we'd been shut down. But I told y'all what it said. I said, I'm going to see what the end going to be. And now we're at the end, you all see where we stand. You can't fault John. You can't fault Eddie. You can't fault. They have put 8 people on this board. And we tried. And the superintendent to say here and make sure that our money was right. And they denied it. So now we here. And when we went to Baton Rouge, get all the power out, up. We gave it up and went to Baton Rouge. But I'm begging you all, you eliminate these bus numbers. It's going to be a word. I go to the school. I see what the teachers and parents are going through with these kids. We got policies, young, but we got no discipline that we follow. And I know when them kids get on that bus and they look and don't see that bus coming, I'm going to get you and a fight for the soul. Now I'm willing to sacrifice and tell me that and them can give us back. They have done a wonderful job. Let me show you something now. I've been on this board, I've been president since May. And all I've done was sign checks to find a way to meet payroll. And these people have found the reimbursement. If they would have never found these reimbursements, y'all would never have a check. Y'all just do way back in February, April, June, whatever we started in May, you would have had one check. And these people did go collect these reimbursements. Make sure y'all, so don't try to put them as a bad person where y'all should hold up accountable. You coming? Well, we've been attacked. It ain't nothing we can say but stand here. Because we have y'all saw the agenda. Do y'all see on the agenda where we got to go possibly to cash more CDs in? That means we don't have money. Do you know we have a testing coordinator here that's telling the districts at 207 that we can't supply clothes for the homeless? Do y'all know that? She can't go because there ain't no cash flow. People, listen closely to this. We are broke. We are broke. And what else can we do? We do not have no money. We may just have enough CD to pay you for the 25th. We don't have it. But we would have had it. When I was telling you, for 2 years, the money was being used without board approval. And board, and John, I said this before. October 15th, you find you, y'all gonna make sure y'all get a new president. because I tried. And I've been towed down, but I'm still standing. So don't nobody fault, because lies were told to you all. And don't give your blame to nobody, but I'm saying too, we need these boards, these bus monitors, until we can get things straight, because we gonna have a problem when they're gone. Thank you for letting me say that part. Waited for 2 years to get all this pressure off my chest. Any more board discussion?
I have a question. I'm sorry, go ahead. I would like to know what was the guidelines for the ones that you all are firing up, dismissing? What were the guidelines for them, for as, how did y'all come to the conclusion that these are the ones y'all need to let go?
In conversations with education folks, we were trying to impact the actual education of students, the least, in the classroom. So that was our main objective. We had some positions that were newly created. So that was one person in those positions, newly created positions. There were other things that there was the thought that education could absorb easily and spread out the work. You know, what happens with this is not only are people losing their jobs, but others that are still working are going to have to double up on much of what they're doing. So.
Excuse me. You have your card running outside.
If he comes on, you shut off for me. Thank you.
I would like to say that as far as the bus monitors go, we need parental involvement with your children. They need to know how to behave themselves on the bus. Or either they'll be dragged us. You know, there's got to be a way to stop all that. If that is being a problem to the other children on the bus, when some misbehave, then that's got to be taken care of from home.
Hey, y'all got to give up Ms. Crawford, Ms. Hargrave, her respect. Now,
This school, and I'm
Ms. Hargrave, you're not going to come in here. In your time, we all going to give you your time to speak, 3 minutes. But I assure you, you're not going to come in here and disrupt this meeting, so you're going to be escorted out. We're going to respect you when you talk, and you respect us when we talk. And we have a meeting decent and order. That's my only warning. Next time I will call the cops when you and escort you out of here. Because we all want to respect and we want your opinion. I think that's right.
I just feel like that we need some parental involvement in helping with your children. If you're the ones misbehaving, and I don't know who it is, I have no idea. But if I had a child that was misbehaving and causing trouble on the bus, he wouldn't cause it but one time. Because he did not be riding the bus, or he learned how to behave himself, or herself, whoever it is. I just, you know, the board does not ride the bus for these children. You know, they're not going to like it if their parents that's on the bus and ride with them. I wouldn't think. I had 2 boys, they would have had a fit if I thought they thought I was going to get on the bus and ride with them. But then sometimes you have to teach them that they have to learn how to behave themselves. And just remember, you cannot teach a child that doesn't listen. You have to get their attention before you can teach them something. That's all I'm saying.
The Congress, when we consolidated the schools, the bus drivers did it from 50 kids to 70. Some bus drivers make 2, 3 loads. Our kids are different from where we were. Our parents was different from where we came from.
That's where it starts.
The bus drivers cannot, I know that they not have until we fix our policy and rules and regulations and let them know that incident. I was at the school the other day and somebody came and pulled it to the secretary. That's why I do it here, because I hear from myself and said they were moving their kids from their high charge. And the thought they said they moved them from their high charge, I heard say over here, y'all get many chances. You act on one time on the bus. The town got to bring the rest of the year.
That's what it should be.
We don't do this. We wouldn't have to have bus monitors if we did this. We need them now because we're not at that level. They said because you're going for the year. What I'm saying is that I'm looking at safety. I'm looking at somebody getting hurt. We have certain kids at bus monitors. Kids come and tell you, they got a knife in their book set. And we'll got them out. I can't tell y'all what to do. I can't tell y'all what to do. I work there. Until we do our rules and policies, we can do it. We cannot do it. We cannot do it. Now, I have to support on what, because we have no money. But I'm asking, can we make people, if you cannot take a cut, and we know that we pay you $70,000 and $80,000 a year, but we laying out 30 other people and you still making 80, you can't take a cut. You can't take a cut. And you don't reward people in place, in high places. And we fail the school system. We at the bottom, we 60, 80. And then we still can't, we all can come together and help them make a difference. That's all I'm saying. I know that we can put them all to vote. They got us going through, I'm telling y'all, that we got to work this problem together. These people have came to their last mile. I'm willing to. In the way I've been treated, I should be willing to. When God is in your heart, you are willing to sacrifice, because I know when a person can't pay a bill, and we got a lot of single parents here making $800, $900 a month as cash, and got all these kids by themselves, and bus monitors, and we have to, they don't brought evidence. So it's all I'm saying is about these bus monitors. We will see. And I cannot dare, because we went before the state and told them we couldn't handle it. And they took it away from us. And guess what? If we work together, we can help them. I calculated myself. When she said $50,000 on my phone of the government. We got people making triple time that much. And we pay it. And nobody will open their mouth and say, I'll take a sacrifice. There's no board discussion. If there's no more board discussion in it, questions come up to the audience now. And you see that button, you can turn it on red. You see it there? Yes, yes, ma'am. Now you can.
To, the board. Parents, I'm coming as a grandparent. First thing I know, we have to safety is first. My grandbaby at Deer High Court was introduced to drugs by an old time. Without those months on the road, you know what happened. But anyway, this morning at 6:30, I received a call. A parent asked me, would I take her 2 boys to Vicksburg High School in Mississippi. For 2 months, Dr. Butler, that parent tried to talk to Mrs. Lovey. I know for a fact because she and I was riding together. When you're out of touch and you put people in place that's out of touch with the parents and with the citizens, you will lose kids. The enrollment in decline because the parents fear. If I go to right elementary, if I move the wrong way, I'll get arrested. We don't need those people. And the only thing I know, I have 3 men come sit down. Why is it that everybody in the Ricky citizens from Tallulah, these are taxpayers? You have people in the district that's in charge making almost $100,000 a year, coming from Mississippi, already retired. For 10, 15 years, nobody from Tallulah that was in a high position had a chance to retire on their own. Why is that? That's the question I have to ask. And keep our babies safe. Because it's a dangerous world out there. And the bus driver or hurt somebody trying to watch that. That's too much bad. If you don't pay them nothing, no way. If you pay one person a $30,000 stipend, that $30,000 could have took care of every bus mom. Come on, fair play. It doesn't see who's right and who's right. Dr. Butler, I know why you turned it over to Ms. Pitts. You had it. Because nobody respects no one in this time. But we got to start loving and respecting having it there.
The question you asked, the board don't do that. When you all say that we are hiring Mississippi, add one to get out of the board. The Mississippi people have a job. At one stage, that the power goes to the superintendent. And they be behind. That's that point. They took that from us 2014. So then Dr. Butler needs to answer this question. The reason why they do not hire ours here, from what I have heard, is that we don't have the what? Certification.
Love it, how 2 years with no certification.
We didn't hire. We did not beat it. We just said that we do not hire. It comes through the superintendent. All the hiring, all the people you put in place, position is his authority.
Yeah, Miss Lovey she was here, before I got here. She moved from the middle school, she had the middle school and the high school for a few years, well, a couple of years before I got here. So she, whatever verifications, certifications, she would have had it. Now, as far as certification goes, if that's qualified with the certification, that's the position, okay? Regardless of where they're from, we look at the certification, we don't look at where they're from, okay? And also, you know, just speaking on Act 1, Act 1 was something that was given back in 2014, okay? So the authority of hiring goes through the hiring committee and doesn't have to go through the board.
How y'all doing? All right, we'll make it short and sweet. As far as qualification goes, this agenda we was posted on the Madison Journal yesterday literally looked like a hit list of everybody that had a disagreement with the food school. So, in any other district, I went to the district office today to find speak to the physical administrator, but she was busy, so I'm here now. I do not have confidence that the physical administrator that's been assigned to Madison Parish could fairly evaluate anybody on this list because she has been buddy with Ms. Lovely since she's gotten here. My only concern is every one of these bus managers that are on this list who will possibly lose their jobs, that $33,000 plus another $30,000 up has got over $60,000 that you guys refused to answer for, that did not come through this board and was not approved. The money that she got that was in excess of the customary and the usual salaries that are paid to people, nobody's answering for it, like it's just been swept under the rug. But I already contacted the legislative officers, so hopefully they will get to the bottom of it. Madison Parish School District as a whole has not respected Act 1. Dr. Butler, I love you. I was in 10 toes down for you. If you're a kid, I got you. But you need to assert your position as the superintendent of Madison Parish Schools. Her job is to approve financial decisions, and that's it. As far as them doing whatever they have to do behind their back, we watching it as a community and letting ride, and they're like, well, Dr. Butler's not saying anything, he's not saying anything. You are the superintendent of schools, whether they like it or not. You have a contract and you still have your authority as far as hiring authority goes. This is the same attorney that Madison Parish School District had when Dixon left. Thank you. When District left, Dixon was fired, Dixon was rehired, we had the same attorneys. So it's like for a whole turnaround. We maybe need to look at getting some different representation because the people that are supposed to be speaking for us are not speaking for us. Our district is failing, not because of the parents. My kid makes an advance anytime they sit down and take a test. But why does he have to be in a district struggling because of issues that are not our own? Like this is not on us. So in my district, if a person wants to keep working and assisting children, once you retire, you're reset to zero. We're paying retired people for 30, 40 plus years to get a second retirement, and it's not right. As much as people feel however about Clara Girl, she should be the most qualified person in this district. She could be a counselor, she could be a superintendent, she can do elementary and secondary. We're failing district because of our practices, and you can't just single out one individual person and say these are parents. We can't. Dr. Rebels has the qualifications to do other things, but he's stuck at the hospital when he is a young person who could grow into one of these district office positions and possibly come across the bridge for another 20 years. But we're investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in people who are 70, 80 years old. How long can they possibly stay in their position? Like everybody else is growing their own. Look at East Carroll. East Carroll Parish is growing their own. You can work in their schools, you can be a principal, or whatever else. You're not coming to the district office. So it's not that parents don't care because I care, but I'm in the tie. Like there's nothing we can do about it. On this list right here, Ms. Bell could be a principal. No, I heard y'all got an assistant principal that's not even certified to be on that position. Her job is on this list. Lisa's job is on this list. They're is on here, and it's not because they can't do the job. They can do multiple jobs, but they disagree with the pay. And I would like to go because my time is about up. But Ms. Love spends more time in the district office with this lady than she does supervising the schools. Nobody can be a paid 12 supervisor. My expertise is in secondary education. This lady's secondary education care, not because you guys don't care, but because we keep doing the same thing the same way over and over again and expecting different results. And it's bad on all of us. So like nobody's blaming you, but at some point somebody has to accept responsibility.
And President, comment on that. About 2 months ago, we went down to Baton Rouge, and that's when they say they would provide us with a physical administrator. The physical administrator has the final decision over the board as well as the superintendent when it comes to physical responsibilities of the district. And I think his letter that John just gave out, so I'll read it. A few overview of laws of physical administration, which was revised August 2025. Direction of physical operations. The physical administrator, subject to state law, which the board or the superintendent can't override a state law, should have authority to direct all physical operations of the political subdivision and to take whatever action the physical administrator deems necessary to return the political subdivision to financial stability. The physical administrator's authority shall include, but not limited to, authority to take one or more of the following actions: amend, formulate, execute the annual budget and supplement budget of the political subdivision, implement and maintain uniform budget guidelines and procedures for all departments, amend, formulate, and execute capital budgets, including authority to amend any borrowing, authorization, or finance, or refinance any debt in accordance with law. And these next three were highlighted to review and approve or disapprove all contracts for goods and services, appoint, remove, supervise, and control all personnel. After or eliminate the responsibilities of officials, officers, or employees of the political subdivision as required by the physical administrator. So yes, at that particular time, our power was given to the physical administrator. You like to add anything to that?
Wait, with all due respect, why do we still have a superintendent and an assistant superintendent if the physical administrator is going to do everything? My concern is that she's not staying forever. The physical administrator literally gets you to stable ground and then that's it. As parents, if we all just say screw it and take our kids virtual or take them to DCS and they start anywhere else, then there's nothing to be an administrator over. All I'm saying is that locally, we have to take responsibility for what we're doing. Like, we got people, we're foreign exchange district at this point. People come to Madison now when there's nowhere else to go. This used to be a district of choice. 20 years ago, I stood before the same, or a different board with some of the same attitudes telling them not to consolidate Tallulah High School with McCall High School, because I went to Tallulah High School and I knew some white children who would never go to school with black kids from McCall. I knew black students from McCall who would never attend a school with white students from Tallulah High School, and that we would never be a 5A district. And they slammed it down. Oh, the cheerleader was so cute, she's passionate about her school. It was beyond that. And now look at this building. Look at McCall. We do stuff backwards. Hindsight is 2020. The only person that had the common decency to tell me that I was right was the banker. We can't keep doing it this way. We got virtual schools that have waiting lists for kids to come. Like, we can win kids back to Madison. People might come because they want to play sports for you. People like Dr. Bowler and his engagement with the community. But we have to stop passing the buck. When everybody that has come and retired from elsewhere, when they go back home because they paid off their cars, whatever they had to pay off, when she's sitting lovely in retirement, and everybody that's not from Tallulah has gone on, we're left to pick up the pieces. Where do we go 5 or 10 years from now? What is our legacy? We've got some renovations at the legacy of COVID. At this point right now, we're at a strategic inflection point. The decisions we make right now is going to affect our grandkids and everybody else. A district judge can appoint a physical administrator, even with all of this hoopla. The country club, but we've been had. All the people that, the firm that came to do the work for us and that hold the finances, they're all friends.
I've heard from a lot of the stores that they laugh at how stupid we are down here in Tallulah. They think we're all idiots. Okay? Tallulah is a money train. His firm makes a crap ton off of us. That investigation with Bell and Doc should have never happened. That could have been handled in-house. We lost a crap ton of money investigating nothing. And it's because Tallulah is dying from the cold within. People aren't coming from the outside tearing us down. It's us tearing down Tallulah brick by brick because we are just hateful. But we can fix this, right? If y'all go back to the same legislative board and say, hey, Butler was out. He didn't have to handle on it. The business manager that everybody had an issue with, he's gone now. If we say, hey, you see where we went wrong? They don't have to stay forever. It's not a term that's going to keep going. I felt some type of way when he left from the district office because he should be side by side with her trying to figure out what to do when she's gone. Right? And it's not personal. You know I love God. It's not a attack against him. But who can show us the way to go? He's at the elementary school. She's in his office. Why?
Dr. Butler, would you tell them that the fiscal administrator, because we have turned it over, will be here for almost 34 years, or maybe longer. It's because of we are in financial trouble. Any more discussions from the audience? Any more discussions from the audience? Okay.
Good evening. I just want to address how this was done because very good excellent. I go to work every day. I see the people with these people every day, several times a day, making plans for this new district and I'm trying to turn things around. No one at no time up until right now has said anything to me about this my life. Not one time. No one said anything like the possibility of something else. You said, you might have to do some cuts from the top. Nothing. And even the people that I see every day, multiple times a day, and we work together. When there's a problem presented, I don't run from it. I go help. Because if I couldn't say you need help and right, I really took my day, took off my heels, and walked back and forth and helped teachers and students at White Elementary. That's what a leader does. A leader goes and helps. They don't just talk, they don't just point and tell you what to do. They're able to actually do it. And that's what I am, a leader. So I'm not saying this because I'm scared I can't get a job because I'm very qualified and I can do that. I know my own stuff. But I'm saying this is October. And you're telling me on October 2nd that as of October 3rd, I will not have a job. That is not fair. Now, as a certified administrator work, but you know how hard it's going to be to find a job in October in this area? I'm from South Louisiana. I can easily pick up and go home, but I have a student in Madison Parish, a student that goes to school here. I live not 2 minutes away from here. So you can't say I'm taking my money anywhere. I live in school. I have been here 9 years. My child goes to school here. I'm a student. So I just think the way that this was handled was not professional, was not considerate. Everybody has to do their job. I know that you have to make cuts, but you have to take into consideration what you're doing. Then I heard Ms. Finley say, well, one of the positions are being eliminated because it's a new position. I don't know who has a new position because my position is not new. They changed my title. But when they changed my title, they changed somebody else's title too. And I'm still a person of the I'm still a person name on this paper. So I want to know, what was the rubric? What did we come up with in order to say these people have to go? It could have been salary. Because my salary has already been cut over $6,000 this school year. So it can't be salary. Let's just do the right thing. If you wanted to give I know we have a fiscal problem. If there was not a problem, a part of the fiscal problem. But you could have told me in June, Ms. Bell, when I made some buses, you might be one who got to go. And I would find me another job. I got a car, I can go north, south, east, and west. I could have gone anywhere. So I just want everybody to know, I'm not scared, I know God will provide, but I want to bring to your attention that it was said that I have a new position and I don't. I do here. I have a new title. And they changed my title and somebody else's title too. Thank you.
John, you ain't supposed to, like we did when we sent, because I want to be correct and right on it.
The motion is for the 15th of this month.
My question was, is that when we did it like we did with the Delta Fund, and all the people that was in early, and when we sent out letters in 2 weeks to notify them, and the only thing that I know we don't, I knew we got the grip, and they told this board, but I just didn't know when I look at testing coordinator, very important in our district. Like, I went to the school the other day and I just asked for, I told them 2 years ago, at White Elementary, if you didn't get disciplined into the school system, what does it all say? Set them table, they got mad at you. I said, you're not going to pull these schools up at White Elementary. You didn't pull them up. You can't fault the principal. We did not afford this weak policy that we go through. Then Dale was down there the other day helping out. Helping figure out a whole lot. We're going to have to do something. All I'm asking is this here. Before we're going to have to make John say the job in November 15th. That's fine. Can we look at all these high salaries in the board? Because I was discussing with this board when we first started, where we would meet every 2 weeks, and when we went to $800, John, the law stated that $400 every 2 weeks. We get $800 every month, and we meet for 1 month. We have to sacrifice. Can we go back and some of these salaries that set up 60, 80 to 100, when you said the bus money? If somebody making 100,000 and somebody making 80,000, somebody making 70,000, just them two alone can keep the bus money. I'm not a mathematician and I don't know, but I know that it's going to affect, we're going to see how much it's going to affect us who retire if the shutdown stay on. I get no more money. This president and this auditor, chairman have done a wonderful job. They paid you all since May. All of that being said, they could have said, turn it over to the state. And the state would have got rid of all of us. And I would feel very disappointed getting rid of me. Because it was told. And I've been through something, still going through it, but by the grace of God, I I'm getting all out because I'm turning this over. Man, I want to hear. Should have heard it 2 years ago. So I'm asking because we got all this in and we looked at it and can we do something else to where we can look at our money and everybody else's money? You, like Dr. Butler just raised, you didn't even have to bring this to the board. That's the power she had. Because it was turned over. When she brings it to the board, but she can say, well, we can do this by
17 code 418, I say that so everybody in the public can look at it, says that the board cannot reduce the salary of any employees below that which they were paid last year. Now, if you have enough people come in here and say, look, we'll give up a portion of our salary to save X dollars, and the fiscal administrator may have some money that you can look in the future. But the board could not vote to reduce people's pay. That 17 code 418 is the law.
Thank you. Any more discussion from the audience?
So, Reverend Fountain, I'm like you. A few years ago, I went through a tragic situation with an unfair and an unjust board, and I had to give it to God. And I give it to God. But you're sitting here saying that we've got employees making $70,000 and $80,000. When I went through my legal issue with this board, I saw every salary table in this district. And there's not one person who should be on the salary schedule, because the highest salary schedule is at administrative table, and it probably caps up at 60 something. So are you including their administrative pay and their whatever coaches get and all that little word that's at the bottom? That's what I'm asking. Or do I need to start requesting salary tables? Okay.
Our salary, if you, and your husband was here.
Yes, and
He's sitting right there. And the salary sheet, I'm very familiar with it. With a,
I'm saying $80,000. I don't know.
let me finish.
With an $80,000.
It shouldn't be over 60,000 with a PhD degree.
That's correct.
We over there. And they board over.
So you're agreeing with me then that they're our
The board know because we looked at it. Let me show you. A teacher can have a teacher can have a doctor's degree with zero esteem. Come here. And she only scored 33,000 with a doctor. A person that comes to central office can have 1 year experience. No experience. Can make 40 sometimes. And every board member in here have, I request the salary scale. The salary scale says you can have 25 years, and we stop paying y'all after 25 years. Is that correct?
Well, it caps off at 25. I'm not getting paid.
The reason I know is because my wife tried me for 34 years.
I understand.
The salary scale said after 25 years, we cap off. So you tell me what people were making 70, 80, 96. Why would they make it that? I don't care where it came from. It went over $60,000, and that is the salary cap. So if anybody making $60.01, you owe the salary cap.
All right, well, I understand that some of them get a supervising
somebody goes over, when we calculate, the administrative pays in there, admin pays in there, we see it. And that's added in there. But then when you go back and look at the things that we have looked at, I'm looking at 80, I'm looking at 70, I'm looking at 90. And when you holler about stipends, when stipends are approved by the board, it's not. But when it's not approved by the board, that's the problem. And when you look and see that they, at the end of the year, show 80 and 90, and then you see $40,000 and $45,000 for stipend and what board approval, if that ain't wrong, I ain't 6'1".
I was just wondering if I needed to start.
Yes, ma'am. Your husband heard me complain every day about them salaries.
He's not the one that I give me a call, right?
Yeah, and he called me. He have heard me. I'm thinking of the salary tax. And the reason why, y'all know when y'all say people tell, Miss Family, they tell. When folks see you getting something and they not getting it, trust you, they gonna tell you. They gonna tell you. So I need you to ask a good question. I'm glad. Every board member in here know some people made over $60,000 or the salary cap, and the PhD degree said it should be no more than 60. Anything else will come before this board. And when this board calculated everything, we calculated and we look at it, mid-pay, supervisor pay, stipend. When we gave the principal a stipend for staying over, it was approved by the board. Well, there's a lot of stipends that were never approved by the board. And we get attacked by the board that didn't approved by the board. And this board here knows that there's a lot of stipends. That's why we're so high. And you're right. I'm glad you got up with this.
There's stipends with the people here saying making the 70, 80, 90,000. I mean, I'm not saying that. Got it. But,
Thank you.
Thank you. We are very top-heavy administrative salary. Very top-heavy. Most of our money is to go to our teachers for classroom. We're ignoring the education part. Everybody's wanting more money, more money, more money. It's education where we're lacking. We need to start looking at the children and what they're getting out of this. The federal law tells you that most of your money needs to go into the classroom, not people's pockets. And that's happened when the board does not know that. I'm assure you that. I've been on this board for 12 years. And lots of things have happened here to pass forward that I've not had any idea that went on.
To the board, to the parents, to my co-workers. Our job as bus monitors are under consideration for elimination. Now, we are on that bus with those children every day. We have to walk up and down the aisle to make sure that our children are safe, our kids are safe on the bus. Now, the bus driver cannot drive that bus and notice the children at the same time. That's putting our children in jeopardy. Once those children get on the bus, their lives are in our hands, in the bus drivers. Now, if you eliminate the monitors off of the bus, you're going to have a lot of problems, as someone said in the beginning. There are going to be fights. There are going to be weapons brought on the bus. There are going to be, you try to avoid an accident with the bus driver. But how can he notice 80 children on the bus by himself or by herself? It's impossible. I speak on behalf of the monitors and the bus drivers. Keep our children safe and don't put their lives in jeopardy. Thank you.
I'm pretty worried. I have one question. Why was the date extended from the 3rd to the 15th when the bus months were taken on the 2nd? That's gonna make the extra days payroll from another payroll, another one, November 10th. So, that's my question, was finance either the 3rd or the 10th? That way, it ends on the day.
And I think in the discussions that I heard, as the lady mentioned earlier about the lack of notice, the fiscal administrator acknowledged that and was agreeable to extend it from March to the 15th. So everybody would be paid through the last day they work, which would be the 15th. But this is provide the additional notice.
I would like to speak on behalf of the bus drivers in the morning because I am a bus driver. You all just really don't know how stressful bus driving is in monitoring. Our children, some of our children are completely off the chain. And we need monitors as to discipline our kids while we drive. I haul them up from 65 to 70 kids a day. On tutoring, right now I got pretty close to 70 kids. And the big of them babies. They're babies. So you think I'm gonna get on that bus in the afternoon with that many children by myself, time fix and change the thing to get dark, I make sure my baby gets in the front door before I pull off. It's where it's taking me up, hour and 15 minutes, I will be over 2.5 hours. Our monitors are obsolete. We need these monitors. We honestly need these monitors. Now, I can't talk for the other drivers, but my monitor, I wouldn't take nothing for. I give up my salary to her. Because she makes my job easy. They are important. So if y'all can see any kind of a way to keep these monitors because they are a big help to us. We have to get the children to you in order for you to teach them. We got to get them there. So if there's any kind of way y'all can see that we can't keep these monitors, we need to keep these monitors. You're going to have fights. You're going to definitely have that. And what is the driver supposed to do then? If they fighting on the bus, is he going to have time enough to stop and put that bus in neutral and pull the emergency brake? No. He's not going to have that much time because the fight going to be an escalation. Then you got somebody's children hurt. It's not right.
Let's make sure that some of the routes go out in the country, which is a longer ride. All the routes are not just in town, right?
No. Some of them are out in the country. But on my route, for some reason, I always seem to have a lot of children and a couple of more drivers. And it takes time to put these kids off in the afternoon.
So it's just
You got to worry about the cars and stuff coming around. You have to stay alert. And that's putting too much on the driver itself. Somebody's child gonna get hurt. Y'all implement these monitors, I think that's the best thing you ever could have done. And now you want to take them away. And then you don't give people notices about their jobs. That is wrong.
That's right.
If I was asked to say this afternoon, I'm going to leave, I'm supposed to give you a 2-week notice. If somebody was going to look for Mr. Kyle to be on that bus in the morning, and I'm working for somebody else, I ain't told nobody nothing. Is that right? No, it's not right. I've been here 66 years. All of my life, I put five kids through the school system.
Never seen it like this before. And it could be better, but we got to work together. Quit pointing fingers at who did what. We got to start from tonight and go forward. Everything that happened in the past, that's gone. Y'all look after our moms and the bus drivers. If you love your children, you better do something. You better do something. As far as drivers, I have turned down jobs to save Madison, and I'll do it again. I will do it again because this is my home. Them 65 or 75, those are my babies. And I treat them like they're mine. So we need to do something. I'm praying about it every day for God to fix it. There's so much God can do. He can do everything. But man has the power to do some things too. Thank you.
As I said here, and some needs to be clarified. I don't want to talk to people out here. Not a single person on this board wants to eliminate bus attendance. No other district in this state has bus attendants on every bus. Nobody wants to do what they're having to do. This is a financial decision. Do you know they can petition the state to say, we don't have the money to even run buses? Now, the administrator is asking the board for input. She's giving you that input tonight. She's listening to you. And your comments are going to help her make decisions in the future. She could have come in here and just said, you're gone. These board members want to do any of this. This is not Ms. Finley wanting to do this. She doesn't know these bus drivers. She is tasked with keeping the board from going bankrupt, as has happened in other places. So I understand, and I'm a parent too. I want the kids to be safe. But for you to look at these people on this board and say, allowing our bus attendants to lose their job is the fact that you don't care for our kids and their safety. That's not right. You know these people up here. They're from your community. They care about your kids and their safety. They're not here saying, cut the bus attendance. They're here trying to say, we're trying to keep this district afloat. Now, I don't give a bit of care about whether you like me or not. All right? That doesn't bother me at all. I'm going to get in my car and go home. I'm giving them legal advice, and that is the utter truth. We have to make tough decisions to keep this board afloat or not. The next step may be to lose all transportation, and we certainly don't want that. But blame me, and that's fine. But blaming these people for trying to keep your schools afloat is not right, okay? Because they are doing the best they can with the money that they have. Did you hear what Reverend Fountain has said? That but for Tim Green's firm and Ms. Finley, our employees wouldn't have been paid the last couple of months. And so this is a serious situation, and I applaud every one of you saying we need to get together and do this. You've heard me say, and I've given you the law, 17:418, Google it. The board and Ms. Finley can't just reduce people's salaries. The law doesn't allow that. So either they agree to them being reduced. If we can get everybody to come up and say, hey, reduce my salary $100, reduce my salary $100, and we come up with $60,000, then perhaps we got it solved. But the board can't just say, we're going to cut everybody across the board X%. So that's the situation. I'm not a board member, and I'm going to sit over there and shut up. But I just cannot allow it without responding to you to blame these people for the decision that's before them. So, yes, ma'am.
We're not blaming them. We know that the problem is just like you got retired people coming in here. Cut them. This is a testing coordinator. Numbers run every district. Without the numbers, you can't run a district. And nobody has the experience or the background this child has. With Bell. Miss Bell helped Miss Lovelace get the high school a seat. She didn't tell you that. She didn't tell you that Miss Bell, you getting rid of her because they your Texas coordinator from here, Texas, Mississippi, has experience and background. The people with the background, them years experience it count. Cause she's been through trial and error. I have over 50 years of teaching. Dr. Candy told me I can't beat you teaching. I know you can't. Cause I bring in all that experience in the classroom. So, Ms. Bell, you're cutting her, like you said, about the academics. Ms. Bell, there's nobody can handle academics like Ms. Bell. That's why Dr. Butler brings. He didn't bring any different or education. He saw an A school. She maintained that A school in Lake Tahoe. She brought the best with her. Yes, we've had up to now in this district. But academics is what's going to get the next leaders in here. The sound, the minds that we teaching to. And you get rid of her because somebody and got in somebody's ears talking. And it doesn't make sense. And she lives here, she pays taxes here, the same way with this child. Why would you get rid of the home people? And you're going to let the ones that come in that's top at kids and said under us, got that PhD, and she can take me to court. Because if she was under Sam Dixon, the stuff they pulled, her and love, they would have been gone. You don't like people, you don't have time to talk to the parents. Their ability to not to communicate with parents. That's why the parents bust them out to Brent school. Because we took our 2 grandbabies. Because they didn't have the mentality to treat us like you. And we got tired of them trying to act like we are illiterate. We understand the attorney. We understand what you're saying. We don't have to forward talk. But if Dr. Butler is the superintendent, he's getting superintendent salary. He can monitor K through 12. Because I bet you about 15 people love it and win that classroom in a third. I bet not look 2 pennies on that. How many people she and Twin actually made sure academics going forward? Miss Bell is excellent. We can't afford to lose her because she's academic. All about academics. The reason Lovett got that seat at the high school because she listened to her. Just don't tell her. And then you got an old woman, making almost $100,000. She wants to run the district. She don't want to respect Dr. Butler. That's why Dr. Butler had to tell the state, come on in and take over. Because he saw that it was going up on, it was in disarray. All the money we paid the lawyer. And Robert Hamilton told you what to do. And came right back around doing the same thing he said. Give him a few days and that's it. But it's time for a change. And I want my grandbaby to stay here. I don't want him to leave. Because I want to sit on the sidelines and see him play. But whoever made the decision, help or her make a decision. It was people that loved and had enemies with, that never spoke, told her to stay off her account. Oh, petty basically. But we need our testing coordinator. Because nobody else can lead them. They don't have experience. And take them numbers from running this.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First of all, I understand what you're saying. You don't have the money, you can't pay the people. You have to do what you have to do. But what I'm asking you is, if you can find any way, keep our money. We need our money. First of all, I'm not engineer. I've been a monitor, I've been a bus driver for 20 years. We just got the money about 6 years ago. And I am the reason we got the money. Let me tell you guys a story. 6 years ago, I was doing a turn tutorial. Kids got on the bus, about 40 kids got on the bus. I was by myself getting her money. So kids started, I noticed that they was arguing, 2 girls, when they got on the bus. So I kept telling them, be quiet, you can't do this, sit down and be quiet. So I drove off the campus, by the campus, they had a stop sign. Mr. Sim used to be the school member was behind me. I had to pull to the side again. He kept kids sit down and quiet and stop arguing. Mr. Sim got on the bus and he told the same thing.
They quiet down for a second. I made it to the stop sign and they slow around again. I said, I'm turning the bus around and bring y'all back to the school, kept y'all sit down and be quiet. They stopped hitting. By the time I made it to 6th Street, they started back on again. The girl that got injured told the girl, one of the girls, that your mama used crack. And when she said that, I said, Lord, have mercy. Because I knew what was something else. I tried to get that girl bus out as quick as I can and let her off the bus. But not doing that girl came back around, ran back to the back, pulled that girl out her seat and beat her till her face was unrecognizable. I asked the kids to help. They looked at every eye was full. I couldn't even get down to the girl. And all I could think about was, and that should be my child. Trying to get to that girl so that girl would have killed her. I mean, it was, and I'm still having nightmares behind that. Because that girl could have died on my bus. We cannot monitor the kids and watch, or drive the bus and monitor the kids. And first of all, I was wrong because I secured the bus, but I was back there, I had to pull the kids to the side trying to get to the kids. The girl was being beat to death. The kids, with so many kids, taking pictures and hollering and boosting the fight on. So when I made it back there to the girl, finally, there was 2 of them fighting the girl. So I had to pull one of them off and made her get off the bus. And back then I said, Lord, it's in your hands. I called 911 before I went back there. It took me so long to get there. So you guys, I'm still talking about it. We need those markers, and it's anyway, I take a case up in my mind. I'm dead serious. We need those markers. And Ms. Bennett said, if the kids stay like they are, I'm telling you, it's not going to stay. Those kids are not safe. But we don't have those markers. We can't get out our seats to even break up a fight, and that's the law. I found that out after the fact, when I was trying to save this girl's life. That I ain't supposed to get out that seat. I couldn't live with myself if that girl would have died on my bus. So I just took a chance. But please, if you can find anyway, I have to make up my mom. She's the best. Please, help us keep our mom. Thank you.
And it, and between you say we was $2 million Dr. Bubba on suspension. We was already $2 million in the hole. We was $2 million. Then we paid $2 million worth of back payment. So it was $4 million in the hole. Then we didn't address our reimbursement. So it was $3 million in the hole. So that was $7 million. We was all in the hole. We got the facts. So it wasn't that we turned it over. We had to turn it over. Because we had no money. And you know, I was honest to all these bus drivers in Madison. I would tell people, because I had the right to tell taxpayers, we in bad shape. And the good Lord sent these people here who had to go find reimbursement. And then when people say, I've been in the district, been working with kids for 45 years. And none of y'all cannot damn tell me I don't care for kids. That's all I ever done. I raised y'all kids. And took them everywhere. So you can't stand here and tell the city you was warned that we was in this situation, but you were getting on social media saying we ain't broke. We ain't broke. I read a lot of stuff. And I got on my knees and prayed to God because I knew this day was going to come. And you all said and talked about us, said about us, went over here with him, went here, went there, and now we right here today. I was honest to all of y'all, telling y'all the situation we was in. Y'all was all on social media making a show of me. And now you want to fault these people who came in and paid and kept, I ain't say you, I say people are going to fault. Like this board is, when you get up there, we care. I told you don't care. I was a bus runner myself. That's why I'm asking him to be saved. I know what the bus runners did. I know they don't get paid when they out. I know they gonna get paid when they're out for the holiday. I know they gonna get paid for Brother Day. I know we need them. But don't stand here and blame these people and us and y'all knew the situation, what you were on. We are at school. It was down there before this boy came. Our kids disciplined is our way. And when we got a whole lot of problems here. But it just ain't started. We've been in decline over 12 to 14 years, but we done got worse. But we never had money problems. We never had one thing. When we told them the check was bouncing, John, they looked at us and act like they ain't nothing bouncing. Ain't nobody. As long as you was getting paid, you was okay. But now this lady telling us that we running out. We running out. Said we out. So when we go to a well, then dry, you keep digging to get water. So we dig it, and they trying to dig them out of this here. I cannot. My heart, I know somebody's child gonna get hurt on that bus because I deal with these kids. And I don't know that, but I'm only one person. But these people have authority. Regardless if people know or yeah, they come and say, hey, see, this is where it's going to be done. And I ain't blaming her because she's trying to save this district. So y'all, when you say here, the appreciation, I don't like. The district appreciation, I don't like. These people can't get paid out for 5 or 6 months and you could have been paid. Men calling them, we'll call all the time and say, we got to pay these people, we got to pay these people, we got to pay these people, because you know we need a home. These people came 6, 7 months time money. When they told us a line said right here, that we wasn't that bad shape. So we let the gave y'all check for 6, 7 months. Y'all didn't have a gratitude to say thank you. And you got paid for it. We got people, kids out in the district still working here. You got to look at everything. And if that's fair, don't just blame nobody. I ain't gonna let you blame me or these board members because we did not put us in here. Tim Green and this firm came here to help us pay you off. And now the decision got to be made. No, I ain't for letting no bus drivers off. But I told them. But I'm only one person. But I'm not going to blame them. We should have controlled that money. Because the board, the state lady said it's good to be nosy. But when I was being nosy, they got mad and said you fool with day-to-day operation. I should have been in day-to-day operation. Maybe you wouldn't be out here trying to pay y'all. Go ahead, son.
Hello. So I have a question as a taxpaying citizen and as employee of Madison Parish. So being a previous accountability person, I do know Madison Parish will have to have a district tax coordinator. So my question is, just like, how can all of these individuals that's on this list who lose their job only are Madison Parish taxpaying citizens? So if positions have to be spread where individuals are serving as dual roles, why can they not be one taking on this role along with some of the other roles? We have individuals coming from north, south, east, and west. But the only individuals on this list are Tallulah residents. I'm just a little lost for words, and maybe someone could share. We all know that Madison is in a deficit. Like, they have told us this for months. We're robbing people to pay home. So there are some cuts that have to be made. But why are they only local cuts? Why someone on this list cannot double up and take 2 or 3 jobs and some other cuts? There are people in positions that's not on this list, that's not in the classroom, but from outside of Tallulah. Why is it only the Tallulah residents, all taxpaying citizens, that's on this list to lose their job?
thing.
Hold on. Ms. Finley has answered the question asked earlier. I don't know if you were here. As to
I was here, but I didn't hear her say as to why they are just to little residents that's losing a job. I was here and I heard, but I did not hear that.
She indicated that she visited, and she visited with other educators, and she made her decision not on where the people are from, but on which positions could be eliminated with the least impact in the bare minimum education in the classroom. That was the response.
But these individuals, so these positions will be dispersed to other individuals. So my question is, why these individuals cannot keep this role and take on other responsibilities? These jobs are going elsewhere. At least I know the test coordinators, because you cannot have a district test coordinator. District test coordinator is different from school test coordinator. Madison Parish, all schools are Title I schools. So you must have a Title I current environment, because there are reports and all that you have to submit to LDOE with the current environment part. So I'm understanding that, but why these individuals could not be responsible for taking on other responsibilities. That's what I'm saying. So that's the part that I did hear.
This is a public comment session. The public is allowed to comment. Ms. Finley and the board can hear the comments and take that into consideration. Tim?
Yes,
Mr. President, Superintendent, board members, yes, others are present. I guess maybe we'd like to share as to where we're at this point, and what we're facing, and the situation we're in that we're coming out. We have the State Line Commission's meeting on October 16th. We have to go before the board, that Line Commission, and explain to them why we're in the shape we're in, what we're willing to do. We want to borrow $2.5 million. That should register with folks. $2.5 million we're asking to be able to be the school board to borrow. That's how deep we think we are. Hopefully we won't have to borrow all of that, but we want it to be available if we can. As you know, every month our cash account, as far as the payroll fund and the general fund, is either not on the edge. We've had to use 1 month, we've had to use CDs to help cover payroll. We're going to get approval tonight to use that for another payroll period as well. We just got a tough situation coming up. I think that the bond council is going to quiz us and challenge us as to, not only why you got in the situation you got into, but why you think you can repay this debt. If you got a borrower that's going to be loaning us the money for $2.5 million, and they're going to be repaid. And I don't think, as I've told Debbie and pushed her here in the last couple of weeks, that we really need to have our plan in place where we cut expenses, where we can go to the bond commission that we've already made changes. It's just going to take us a while to get out of the hole. I don't think we can go to the bond commission and say, hey, well, we may want to do this, or we may need to do this, etc. That's not going to give them any comfort level in proving us to borrow money. They're wanting us to have strong facts and figures as to how we're certain that we can borrow the money and repay the money. And so I think that's really the thing we're facing. I didn't really help as far as involved with the decision as to cut to 7, but I think if you think about it for a second, we can eliminate some of these positions. You can say we're not going to prove it, but we then have to say, okay, we're in the hole, we've got to cut $1 million worth of expenses. We'll come back next time and have another list. And that list is everybody, there's going to be things on it that everybody's not going to like. So I think Debbie's in a no-win situation in that, we got some tough choices to make. Personnel is your vast majority of your expenses. If you make any significant reduction in cost, it's going to have to be in that area. Now, who you choose and all that's subjective and it's up to debate, etc. But my point is that if you were making a choice of selecting the people we're going to cut to get to the $1 million reduction, there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be unhappy about that and have preferences about it. If I went and made up the list and so forth, I'm sure there'll be people that wouldn't like that. If we ask anybody in the room here to go make that list and cut these people, there's gonna be other people that said, hey, there's a good reason we should do it. I think the explanation I've heard about the bus monitors is that there's other parishes that don't have bus monitors. I know in Washington Parish they do have bus monitors, but in other rural parishes I think there's multiple school districts that do not have bus monitors. So I think that was one of the bases for saying, hey, if other school systems operate without bus monitors, then maybe too little have them. We're in a dire situation, we're not in a normal situation. We just got to cut costs. Cost has kind of gotten out of hand. A year ago, we had like a $4 million fund balance, and this past year, with some adjustments, we're going back and making against that old year, and the losses you had this year, our fund balance, we're going to be fortunate if we're at break even or with zero. So we just made some choices, and the requisitions has already been mentioned, just work submitted. And I think that's one of the biggest causes of our issues and so forth. But sum all that up, we're really facing the State Bond Commission coming up on the 16th. We've not only got that, but we've also got the lender, whoever that may try to be. We've got the lender that wants to be repaid. He's not making a terrible contribution. He's expecting to be repaid. He wants the numbers to reflect that it can be repaid, and there's just costs that's got to be cut. So if you were saying, we're not going to approve any of these tonight, etc., then you're going to get you have another list next time that would be a list that there's going to be a lot of unfavorable reactions to it that says, we don't like that, those of us either. So we're having to make, Debbie's having to make tough decisions, and whoever's in that position is you're not going to be popular, etc. And I just want to share that we are facing the State Bond Commission, and I shudder to think what the results would be if we don't get State Bond Commission's approval. And I want to go prepared to the best we can be prepared for that. So, anyway.
Any more discussion from that? Testing coordinator?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Donna Crockett, and I would like to share the duties that I perform daily. District test coordinator, homeless liaison, parental involvement coordinator, point of contact for foster care, ELPT testing, and screening and identification. I see on the agenda, it says testing coordinator. However, I am the district test coordinator, but I've been told that that is my position. But there is a difference between the district test coordinator and the school test coordinator. A school test coordinator or school personnel cannot perform the duties of the district test coordinator because they are different. Each one of these positions that I hold, actually in other districts, they have one whole individual to do all of these jobs. It's not that I'm making a lot of money because 5 years ago, the previous board took my admin pay and it was never restored. So I'm still working as an administrator without that pay right now. But I'd like to ask you all, do you really know the seriousness and the liability of testing? It's a very sensitive situation. A lot of things can go wrong. And without a district test coordinator, it could be a lot of trouble. Are there any questions about any of my duties? Because all of them are very sensitive. We have to go into the ED system, the LBOE. We have to track these students daily. We have to take notes on them from homeless. for the point of foster care students. We have to screen continually with our ELPT. We do placement tests. So there is a lot that I'm already not getting paid for, and I'm still performing the duties with effectiveness. Thank you.
Yeah, we do have an October report, where we need to log our students, but according to the paper, I won't be here to log that in.
We in more comment. We heard Tim, to the board. We heard Tim. Tim Green came out and said he gave a choice. And y'all heard one of the choices is on here. Now, whatever we do, don't decide this. And you send Tim and the Debbie back. And they bring other names. You're gonna have to do something. So, if it's your desire to say it's dead, and she goes, and he said, if even our people, it will say unfaithful. And if they go and bring it back to us, two things gonna happen. And the third thing, we got to make decisions. So if you say that Debbie, go back and look at everything. The names come on that list. You would question as a board. And that's what they'll do. And he's gonna be, and I'm gonna have to tell you, board, and I'll say this, we're gonna have to do something. Nobody in the district will have jobs. Well, what I heard, John, and Tim expressed it real good, regardless of what decision we make, it's going to be unfavorable. We're going to have to, as a board, we caught in a position, and people will say this here, and I don't like when they say this like this. You got to work together. Then you got to forget what done happened in the past. And now one of y'all gonna forget if you gave a person $100,000, he didn't pay you back. So don't tell me you're gonna forget. Well, we 2.8 million in the hole. You can't forget that. And then talking about throwing fingers, and John hit it good at us. And we done made prepare from bus driver to everybody that you got paid. And I take that very hardly, that you get up here and say that you forget the past. Christ ain't gonna forget the past. So don't do us like that. And we on a hard decision like John said. We hate being in this position. And that's unfair. And you knew we was having this all the time. So let me tell you why you knew. Reverend Simon, we gonna get paid? You ain't never asked that in 30-some years. Well, we gonna get paid? So you knew we was in trouble. Then you sat here and try to denounce us, and then worry about people worrying about being in position. I don't worry about being in no position. The good Lord gonna take care of me. I'm here or not here. But I'm trying to fight for you all, and these people trying to fight for you all. You knew, and the people that done it is gone. But you don't got a paycheck, and I thank you, John, for saying that y'all should be trying to thank us, because y'all still working. And I done heard some of y'all, we don't get a paycheck, we walking out. Yeah. Where else can you find jobs at this time? That's why nobody want to lose their job. But that's unfair to us to say that. If a board had the heart to say, well, do whatever you want to do, and we sitting here trying to stretch everything out. Can't nobody else do no decision. This is a hard decision.
Let me help you with this. Let me read this to you. Upon the appointment of fiscal administrator, the officers, officials, and employees of the political subdivision, that's the school board, shall serve in advisory capacity to the fiscal administrator. The fiscal administrator shall allow the officers, officials, and employees to serve their constituents and to fulfill their duties by providing advice to the fiscal administrator on matters related to the operation of the district. If a conflict arises, the fiscal administrator's decision shall prevail. This meeting, as uncomfortable as it is giving you, the employees, and everyone the opportunity to voice their concerns, their positions, so that your fiscal administrator can receive that advice. But if there is a conflict, her decision prevails. And I've heard anyone that wants to read that, you can go to the legislative auditor's website, and the document was revised 825. It's entitled Overview of the Laws of Fiscal Administration. So this is the board's opportunity not to make the ultimate decision, but through your vote to advise the fiscal administrator on your thoughts. And so that's what I'm reading about. And we can be here all night. This is our first of several agenda items. You have to receive public comment. And I know you've done it. Yes.
Board, I have one more question. Reverend Fountain, you just said a few minutes ago, I can't quote you, you just said the person or the people responsible for this are no longer here. Are there gonna be legal ramifications for said person or people?
Well, from what I saw in the newspaper, and it said, and I don't know, John can help me with it. If money was, we in the shape we in now, I'm not the lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Where did it go? And for us to be sitting here in this kind of situation, we had we had more money coming in than any state in this district. And the whole state of Louisiana, our district was. So, I don't know what can be brought, but if we sit here and people make a decision tonight or whenever on situations that was not told to this board, the truth, that's one reason we were voting to get the audit, so we could catch it. When we did, to find out where the money was. And maybe we could have caught it in time. But the only reason we at this level now is because the good Lord and Tim Green get these people here. That's why we still going. That's why we still here. And you asked a good question. And I think a lot of board members have asked this. I'm not saying nobody stole. We never said that. We were questioning why Money was moved from over here without permission. Bills way over there. The test coordinator just said she been here since 2007. And she came to get the homeless any clothes, belt, shirt, and they need it because the cash flow ain't there. The debit done ain't caused this. Tim done ain't caused this. That's what we're talking about. And this the issue as board president is laid on the person that said this here. I don't even know the answer. That's the reason I was asking. They put out, like I said, somebody was stealing. Not one time we ever said anybody was stealing. We asked why checks bounced. And they bounced. They told us it didn't bounce. Well, why checks was delayed? They said it wasn't delayed. From what Doc told me, he asked, was everything. It was told, so 2.8 something million, that ain't kidding. So you asked a good question. That's what everybody should be asking. What's going on and what's going to happen for us in this situation? And it's not one time. We read the paper say mismanagement. What is mismanagement? Then these people here could have just said, and these people here, they will not tell you that they were told that they were late turning in everything and they were dismissed and never got paid for it, but came back in. And they struggled to make sure they got all them reimbursements. I don't want nobody. I know people that single paying. And whatever we can do, it's a board decision. And I only answer that question I was going because you asked me. And that was a good question. And they always say you don't go back in the pay. When you're in this situation, you wondering why all that money went. So, I don't know, and I'm saying here I never accused anybody of anything. I just said that when we wasn't getting paid, and they were telling us we had to move money around. We start moving money around. Somewhere we ain't got no money. Board is, no more comments from the board?
I had one more.
Okay.
My question is to the administrator. I'm looking at this list here. So, throughout this district, are these the only positions? I'm quite sure, there are others, possibly, ones that are not even in the classroom.
I'm not sure I understand your question. I don't know.
Okay, I see you got down here, I'm talking about the position that you're looking to cut. So I'm quite sure these are not the only positions, throughout the district that need to be addressed.
Well, in addition to these, we've also had some people that left voluntarily, that their positions are not going to be replaced. So those are included in our numbers. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, and what about those that are not in the classroom?
Those that are not in the classroom?
Yeah, that are not, you may have people that are not in the classroom.
Well, I mean, we're continuing to look at all the folks, we're looking at all the dollars, seeing where we're at. I mentioned today, we're not where we need to be yet. Even with this action tonight, we still have work to do. Hopefully, it won't be a whole lot more, but we do still have work to do. The RIF that previously happened did save us some money, and that's a help. What we do tonight will add to that and get us closer to our target, but we are not yet there yet. We still have some work to do. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, my question is, I listen to this part. On the agenda, you just have on your testing coordinator and parental involvement. But from listening to her, she has way more duties than that. Is there, gonna be someone that's going to, to do all of those things that she named? Or they gonna be willing to even take on all those positions that she named? Because from here, it's just saying testing coordinator and parental involvement.
Well, I think, Dr. Butler might help with that, question. Also, I think, my discussions with education have led me to believe that all those jobs will be absorbed.
So even when she said a report is due by the 15th, is there anyone qualified to have their report?
That's an education question. To that extent, relying on educators to make that decision. But I've had lengthy discussions about that, so I would say yes.
So we get rid of the position for knowing those actually.
My understanding is they will be covered. Dr. Butler, do you have anything to say to that?
Yeah, not knowing what positions will be deleted before tonight. Once they're deleted or not deleted, those particular duties will be shuffled around with the personnel that's on staff.
Will they have training? Are they trained to really impact? Oh, God. Do they have the training, really training to know how?
Right, we don't know who's gonna be in those positions, because we didn't know these were, gonna come up for reduction, until today. And we just have to find the people to do those duties. They have to get trained, we communicate with the state, to let the state know what's going on. We don't know any of the questions that you guys are asking as of right now, because we didn't know those questions were coming up. We didn't know these positions were going to be dissolved until yesterday.
So will the district be penalized if their report is quite reviewed, is not sent?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's why we communicate with the state, to let the state know what's going on, that positions will be deleted. I don't have those answers, because like I said, these were just questions that just came up today, and positions that I just found out yesterday that would be dissolved.
Okay, I'm just not understanding why this position is on here when it's such a critical position in testing, like this agency is very important. It's not something we're gonna just get rid of and say, okay, this person can do that, this person can do that. They definitely gonna need that training and background, experience, so. That was my concern.
From the board.
We just wondering how you don't think, or anybody to compete with a 25-year-old experienced person that knows the in and out of testing. That was, that's enough. It looks, everything looks so, it looks like it's, vindictive.
And are we testing right now? Oh, we testing right now?
Now, are you testing?
Yes, tomorrow's the last day, and then we'll see. Oh, we actually
Excuse me,
tested.
it's only a comment. When a comment made, you can't just ask a question to the board.
The board ain't supposed to. You were talking, the board ain't.
They were before. It have to be addressed when the board make a comment, and then you can, because right now, okay, I was just saying, right now, it's just the board, and the comment is from the board, and then the board can come and you say she did, that's fine. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
And then I asked her, was she testing me? I wanted to know what she testing now.
Oh,
Yes, we've had testing ever since, we came out with the ballers, because you have to do peer numeracy and literacy testing, and that has to be done the first 30 days of school. We have a new test that was added called numeracy in the kite portal, and tomorrow is the last day with that.
any more comment, from the board, suggestions?
Yeah, my question is, to the administrator. Okay, is there a possibility that we can, address this again at a special meeting around the 7th? That gives you more time to look into, some other conditions or what have you.
That's the decision that, Tim made. Tim, what I said earlier, if Ms. Debbie, Tim, and he's requesting for a special meeting for the 7th. If Tim and Ms. Debbie goes back and bring other names, the board gonna have to do something. Because from when if y'all look at the video, please look at the video. What the state said we went to Baton Rouge, that once you bring a physical administrator in, we can only give our advice. And Tim said, other names can be brought up on this list. And this board got to do something before these people go back down to 15, or we're not gonna have anything. And that's what Patterson is asking. So when they do, the board decide that, when they do come back, we're gonna have to make a decision, because I'm not gonna let a school district go under while I'm sitting here, and we know we had to make these decisions. So this is what he's asking to the board. If she come back on the 7th, if she allowed, this board got to vote. We got to vote for the development of this district to save jobs. So that's more than fair, and we're gonna have to vote. Because up in Baton Rouge, me and Dr. Bubba were sitting together, these people were serious. And quote unquote, we were the first district in the state of Louisiana since 1936 that a physical administrator had ever came in a school system. We're the first one. And back that time, the state didn't own them then. So we made history the wrong way. So if these people bring to us, we got to do something and react. That's their choice.
Reverend Fountain, I'd like to just make this comment. No job that's being eliminated is invalid, unimportant, a valued part of this school system. The bus monitors we've heard tonight, you're valuable. We get it. We want kids safe just as much as you do. Testing, super important. I understand that. The issue is we've got to cut dollars. The issue is we've got to figure out a way to fix it. We've got people in hand that's gonna take over things and get things done. Because we've got to. That's our only option. We've got to get the budget in line, and we've got to keep the jobs going. They've got to be done right. We'll have to do what has to be done to get it done.
And with one point, I excuse me for my voice, I've lost my voice. One thing I hope everyone understands is that when we went down to Baton Rouge, and it seems like we gave it up, we gave the authority up, we had no choice. They were coming in and they're gonna sue us if we didn't step forward and say, we need your help. They're coming in anyway. There's no way around this. We are in a desperate situation. I know everyone's job is important to them. You're important to the school system. We can't afford what we've got, and there's going to be more cuts. So we have got to start just owning up and facing what has happened with the dire mismanagement situation that has gotten us in a $2.5 million situation. So, you know, I am so sorry, but what has to be done has to be done either by us or by someone else that is not us. So,
We won't have school.
we can't kick the can down to next week because there'll be a whole other batch of people who have valid points of why they don't need to lose their job. Everyone has a valid point. And it'll be the same situation with just another bunch of people.
This problem when he said, I'm tired. First we had a rip. We had people we had to let go. If we're gonna do it, it's just my opinion. And then we ain't got to come back to this table, John. Let them breathe, and what she sees, or whoever has to be cut, it's done and all together, and we can move on and go on, let them do what they have to do. Instead of sitting here another month, somebody else worried about being cut. I agree with Ricky what he's saying. Let them go bring the name. And this board got to make a decision. But like Ms. Hargrave said, we're not going to have a school. It ain't on us. Because they said, give it to me all at once. And when it comes all at once, we ain't got to come back up here and talk about who's going to be ripped, who's going to be this, who's going to be that. I would rather see it like that because we keep on making decisions. This be our third time if we come back again. Let's get this stuff over with so we can move on because the state have told us by our consolidation of Wright Elementary and Toulouse Elementary, our third grade kids got to pass or they flunk. All this, then we'll know what staff we have. We know what staff we have. You just said that we're going to have this no matter what. But we're going to have to do something because we do not have the money. Suppose this board come tonight, and we got an item right here, and the board come and say, no, we're not adopting no more going in the CD. And don't vote for it tonight. Well, on the 25th, you won't get paid. That's everybody in the school system. So after this money runs out, then we know you won't be getting paid. So whatever rip and cut we got to do, Tim brought it up, and Pastor just said, bring it to us, and we have to make a decision with everybody and get it over with. And we can move on to try to get our kids to pay. That's what everybody is saying, that we need, the kids come first. Well, let's put the kids first and get this over. These people are going to have to bring up something. There's no way out of it.
We got to follow the data.
Nobody. We got to go and vote, Don.
Nobody that made a D or F or a D last year shouldn't be over nobody's school.
We're not talking.
No, you got to follow the data.
Right, we're not.
Hey,
Ms. Williams, listen.
Or who get paid
Listen. Right now, we have to deal with this. We're talking about trying to get us paid. We got to go to another CD. We got to get it, and we finna vote on what Rick had on the table. If you want to make a motion in that,
We already had a motion to do this.
well,
All of it out, the down on the line. There should be on there.
well, I don't want,
You can get a square, it's a A or B school.
but that ain't what we're talking about right now. We're trying to talk about our, ma'am, we're talking about our how we're gonna be able to pay. That's what we're trying to get to.
It's all.
I will deal with the A and B when that's time. Right now, we're talking about the money and what we got on the table to vote on, because this is what we finna do right now. So, they had a motion on the table that, it was second, that we eliminate these positions that have been told up, said up, and motion on the table.
I'm saying, like Rick was saying, why would we just bring them all at one time, so we don't keep going back and forth, back and forth?
Well, you have to still make the motion to decline that motion. Is I'm right, John?
Folks, come tomorrow, it's my opinion that the fiscal administrator is gonna send a letter to the folks making this decision. This is the board's opportunity to vote to give her your advice and consultation on this issue. I mean, the reality here is you're not gonna be able to kick it down the can down the road. A decision has to be made. Under the law I just read to you, this is your opportunity to give her your thoughts, your advice on the matter. And then if there's a dispute, if the board votes no, don't do it, and she says, yes, I'm gonna do it, her decision will prevail. And so, that's the situation. And you ask for public comment, you receive public comment, you can vote to give her your advice and consultation, but that's where we are.
Ray, well, I know, like, if we,
All right, I went back and looked at the new laws that were just added for the fiscal administrator. Fiscal administrator can be removed, one to one, the fiscal administrator can be removed by the court in his own place, or as provided in RS 3913, for fraud and misconduct. You have to be in here to understand it, you'll see. Okay, so the retirees in our district are being paid for 30, 40, 50 years of experience, and they've already got retirement income. If we do like the districts in East Madison Parish, Seaside, and all those other larger districts do, like let's just say, Rev, you were the superintendent, you retired, and you thought you would go work for ABC district, they're gonna reset you to 0. So that way, like all the people like Dr. Matt and Ms. Lovejoy, Ms. Durr, all the people who already retired, they can stay and continue working. But if we reset them to 0, you're saving over $100,000 right off the top. These people right here are so close to retirement. I know it's about the kids, but with testing on them, once you do the testing security training for teachers, if this lady counted 10 textbooks for every test that's ongoing right now, and her job is over before that testing period ends, somebody's license are on the line because that gives an opportunity for academic dishonesty. It gives a chance for somebody to cheat. And then if we're already at that, so if by some miracle we go from F to A, then whose license are on the line? Like somebody has to give an account for it. She has to pass out and count every pencil, every pen, and every piece of paper. We can start right now. Without laying these people off, she doesn't have to give her reports to AG's office and LLA and everybody else. We do have a responsive agent, so if we don't figure it out, she'll figure it out for us. If those retirees, the people who already have their business made, if they would agree, they don't have to agree, but if she would get them reset to 0, it's going to put them in a position to take it or leave it. If people with 30, 40, 50 years of experience will already get a check, say, I'm not working in Madison Parish schools for $40,000, they're gone. Rather than us laying these people off, and they still going to go out for unemployment. So it's 6 in one hand, half the other in the other. This can work, y'all. And if she can give her report, she's going to have to give updates to the settings. And y'all are in agreement, like, we all want this to work. Because these kids that are in this school district now, these are folks who are going to be in the nursing home taking care of us. Their folks going to be gone home. So So like, we don't have to pick up the pieces. The easiest way to do this is to pump the brakes on everything that's on the agenda tonight. Give them salaries, and that's all the money right there. We top that in this spreadsheet. Is that something y'all can do, or do we just not do anything?
No, it's
Like,
not.
get us to school year.
Folks, let me read you the law. All right, I want you to look at 11 code. I want you to read 11 code 710, retirement of retired teachers. See there, employment of retirees. And we open up here at the bottom. It says, the salary of any retired teacher who is reemployed shall be based on the salary schedule which accounts for all prior years of teaching service and current experience. The problem we run into is that schools have their unique laws. When a school system hires a retired teacher, their salary has to be based upon the salary schedule which accounts for all prior years of teaching service and experience. The status of any retired teacher who is reemployed shall be the same as a full-time active employee governed by the same rules, the same procedures, policies, and statutes. We find this in every district. We wish that we could put them back to zero, but we have this statute.
And this already on their business, though, like they already got retirement, like this lady has 2 years left, she's got 1 left, so should they go on first? So these folks don't lose their houses?
No, because what it says under the real law, that real is not based on seniority. I wish it was as simple. I wish it was this simple. She has a good point. The legislature, though, is the one that sets the law, and they have tied our hands. This law needs to be changed, but your fiscal administrator and the board and all are governed by this law. So we're open to any suggestions. We encourage you to keep looking and coming forward, but there are laws out here that we have to follow.
Can they leave voluntarily?
Yeah, they can resign at any time.
How many 6 months? Could you ask these days if like the people that have already earned retirement, if they would spare the young people who are like a year away from retirement to give them a chance? So there are no jobs here. Like the job market is crap. Every good teacher, every educator that's worth having already has a job at this point. So it's like, and this has happened. This is not our first rodeo. He can say this. He's been here a long time. We paid Dixon to leave. We paid Dixon to come back, and then he ended up serving on the board. And like superintendents, we cycle through them. We can't recruit good teachers. Like our salary scale is already low. The people that stay here, people like her, are people that just like they care. They put their blood, sweat, and tears in it. And honestly, like I brought my kid here because of Dr. Vogel. I wouldn't teach in this district to bring my daddy back from the grave because they treat people like crap. And this is not just started happening, like it's been happening for years. My kid that was here initially before I took him away, the only reason he came to school every day was because of his wife. He said, Miss Wilson's the only one with some sense. Like the people that want to be here, that sacrifice so much, she's not doing this job for the salary. Like I feel like they deserve a chance to finish what they started. So Madison is the laughing stock of the state. Like we have been on the bottom for so long, it's embarrassing. It's painful to watch. I want to take my kid and put him in a virtual school with me, but we can't afford to lose another kid. So, I mean, we want to do something different. Is there a way that you can talk to the retirees, like, hey, you know, would you voluntarily, because they're giving us service, they can volunteer. Because we pay a lot of money for retirees. I'm going to get out y'all way, because I'm ready to go home. I'm hungry too. I know y'all ready to go, but it's got to be a different way. But testing is going to be an issue. We've had issues with testing in this district at a charter school and some other schools, like testing irregularities are major issues here. And that's where our funding comes from, is from the leak testing and the school accountability source. So with the testing director out of the way, if anything happens, we are triple screwed. Thank y'all.
Board, what did you say? Motion? On the table.
And what is the motion on the table?
Motion was on the table to, one, director literacy, director instruction and accountability, executive coordinator, and remember involvement, regulated education for bus monitors. we doing all that together?
Yes.
Uh,
I move that we as a board give the fiscal administrator consideration for the elimination of the following positions: Director of Literacy, Director of Instruction and Accountability, Executive Coordinator, Parental Involvement, and Regular Education for bus monitors. I want to go down those choices.
We already have a motion and a second on there to do what is placed there. It's simply.
she was asking, what was the motion?
Did you write down the motion? Didn't you?
And that's why she thought she had that.
Proper made, the motion seconded, Herbert second, filling made all provisions by October 15, 2023.
Yeah, we're gonna do the roll call. District 1. District 2.
Yes.
District 4. District 5. District 6. District 7. District 8.
Yes.
District 3. No. Now, that was it. 5, what you call them, that? Any, discussion? My discussion is that the bus monitors, that was my safety issue. But now, whatever, if David turns in, and they come back and I'm questioning, because I'm not coming back up here talking about another rip. Whatever we gonna rip, bring it to us, and so we get through with it. If they bring these, whatever regardless of what we have done, she still got the power to send to the state. And when they bring back, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm not gonna let this district go down for 5 and 6 and 7 people and everybody goes down. That's unfair, that's unjustified. So when whatever she turns in, from what I had, the state gonna agree with it anyway. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not question it serious. I know that the bus monitors, and nobody changed my mind to make me on no opinion. But half of you don't care for me anyway.
We love you, Fred.
No, that kind of love that I done heard to me, can't tell me you love me. Some of y'all can't. So when they come back, on the 15th, and we don't get this money, and they come and tell us, it is on us. So,
Well, I was just saying, you can't eliminate a position, a order position without knowing who's gonna take over. You know, it has to be there. You have no way of knowing how it's gonna be carried on. That's my point.
and the point is correct, but the point is that the state have gave her all control.
That's our recommendation, like you said.
Right.
Board.
And that's what I asked John. That's what I asked John anyway. I asked John, why did she have to bring it to the board anyway? She brought it to the board to hear our say. But she don't have to bring it to us. no matter how we plead and advise, they don't have to give it to us. So the next go round, if they decide not, whatever happens from here, they don't have to bring it to us. They just turn it in. And that's their choice. And I prefer it should be like that because the first thing y'all will look at that we unfair. That now the state, regardless what they say, and I'm saying this, regardless what we say, they are the power. And there's nothing we can do about it. Okay, so now we just did it. So when they get ready to send it in, and she said this is what she wants, this is it. And there ain't nothing we can do. And I prefer that it don't come back to us.
Well, we really don't have a say in what.
We don't have a say anyway. Next item. The next item, consider the recommendation of the fiscal administrator for the superintendent to continue to real positive implication in accordance with the law, including elimination of the following: 1 school council, 1 school librarian, 1 custodian.
I make a motion that we move to let the superintendent continue carrying out the RIF to eliminate 1 school counselor, 1 school librarian, and 1 custodian.
Any discussion from the public? Any discussion from the board? Roll call. District 1. District 2.
Yes.
District 3, yes. District 4. District 5.
No.
District 6. District 7.
No.
District 8.
Yes.
Tied.
Next item.
I don't know if it's going to that way.
Ms. Cummings, you get everybody's vote? Was it 4-4 times?
Tied.
Ma'am? All right. There's confusion. All that voted yes on that, please raise your hand for her to get the minutes correct.
School council.
The motion was to direct the superintendent to proceed with the RIF of these 3 positions. If you voted yes on that motion, please raise your hand so that she can get the minutes correct. And Reverend Fountain, you voted yes?
Yeah.
All right. So that's 4. And who voted? There's 4 yeses. Who voted 3 noes? Okay.
D, consider reconstruction of the composition of the finance committee, any change needed in the committee policy, and the change meeting date at the time and second Tuesday of each month, 10 o'clock a.m. The first meeting is to be held on October 7th, 2025, due to the fall break. That's item D.
So it's going about any other board members who are seeing that it's not full-time job.
And it's she's gonna restructure the finance committee team. Motion on the table.
You're gonna need to put somebody on,
Yeah, I can't do it either.
I can't be here.
Right.
That's this morning, because Tuesday, I think, I can't do that. I can do that in the afternoon, but I can't do it.
So the deputy, you were questioning for 10.
Yes, I actually spoke to Ms. Crawford, and she had 4 board members that agreed. It was me,
Yeah, you say for 10.
and Kathy, and Ms. Paul.
Okay, my 10, I can go from 10 to 10:20. I just checked my route.
Okay.
Yeah, my route have changed. I thought I would be for 12, and mine goes from 10.
Debbie, could you do it later on that Tuesday?
We could.
We'll do it later.
I need to discuss amongst yourselves.
What time do you want to do it later? I can do anything after 2 o'clock.
Well, do we want to do 2 o'clock?
At 2:30?
Is the second Tuesday of the month. The board meeting is the third Monday of the month.
For 2:30? I can make it at 2:30.
2:30 is fine.
Okay.
I can do that.
Well, can I get a motion that we do it for 2:30?
Well, and I think the president needs to appoint the committee members, or I know that we had talked about it, we were going to appoint.
Well, I gave it to Ms. Crawford, who could do it. I know myself, Ms. Crawford can do it. You can't?
Oh, that's right, the afternoon is school, and I know people have children. I mean, we can leave it like it is, we'll do it on the night. I just
Well,
thought that there was a movement that we wanted.
Can I get a motion to table it then?
Yes, absolutely.
John, then we get a motion to table item D. A motion to table item D.
I make a motion to table item G to second.
Okay, it's been moved by Board Member Hamilton, seconded by Board Member Harvard, that we table item D. All in favor?
Ask the public comment.
Any public comment? Ready to go, John?
I know.
Public comment? Discussion from the board? Motion already been done. We, roll call, District 1, District 2, District 3, yes, District 4, District 5, District 6, District 7, District 8. Item E, adopt a resolution to authorize the withdrawal that's part of certificate and deposit from 10 state bank. John, Debbie.
Again, this was, authorization, just like we've done before for the other certificates of deposit, to be sure that we'll be able to make payroll. So that's what we're asking to do. If we don't have to get one at this point, that's all we'll do, but, in all likelihood, we'll need a vote.
So if we don't get the loan, we'll be able to pull another CD. That's the next plan. If the loan don't come through,
I'm sorry.
if the loan don't come through, what would the next plan be?
Huge cuts. A risk like you've never seen before. If we don't get the loan.
But I think the guy that was here, he had a very positive.
Yeah, if we can go to them with something, that's
If
what
we can show that we can get our budget to where we can.
You know, I've got to, along with, Mr. Reed, convince him that the school board can pay it back. We don't have a rep in place, we don't have positions to cut salary and benefits. You know, it's gonna be much more difficult to do that.
Any, discussion from the board? Any discussion from the comment?
I have one question.
Question?
When will the final decision gonna be made of whether or not we gonna be still working or not gonna be working?
We don't, I don't know.
So in other words, my question is being asked is that, do we have to work tomorrow? Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion from the, public? Can I get a motion to, vote on item D? As item E, adopt the resolution.
I move that we adopt this resolution that, the cash flow needs road needs that we, give the fiscal administrator the authority to withdraw the certificate of deposit. It's all the same thing.
It's been motioned by Ms. Hargrave, Ms. South. Ms. South. Oh, it's been seconded by Board Member Wilson, that we do give authority to the city administrator to adopt the resolution to authorize withdrawal special certificate of deposit from 10 South Bank. Any discussion? Roll call vote. District 1. District 2.
Yes.
District 3, yes. District 4. District 5. District 6. District 7. District 8.
Yes.
Okay, item L, institute the cash fire high to effective October 1st, 2025. Any discussion from the board? Discussion from the body? Discussion from the body one more time. Roll call vote. District 1. District 1. Yeah, we voting on item L, to institute the tariff-wide free. We did.
Oh,
Yeah, we did the motion. Yeah, there was a motion by, Board Member Hargrave, second by Board Member Wilson. And any discussion from the body?
The motion by Hargrave, the second by Wilson was on the CD, correct?
No, we did the CD.
Yeah.
You got that right?
you need a motion, please.
We need a motion.
Okay, I move that we institute a parish-wide iron freeze effective October 1st, 2025.
Ms. South? All right, motion by, Sister Brother Pop. I'm so tired, John. Mr. Hargrave is second by Board Member Wilson, that we do, institute a cash-wide high free effective October 1st, 2025. Any discussion from the audience? Any discussion from the board? Roll call vote now. District 1. District 2.
Yes.
District 3, yes. District 4. District 5. District 6. District 7. District 8. Superintendent, you have a report? Well, I do thank y'all for, I got to close with this here for you to have. I sure thank y'all for allowing me to be as president from May to this time. I did the best I could. Still gonna be responsible as a board. I wish all the next president, whoever y'all is, motion, can I get a motion to adjourn? Then moved by who? Wilson, second by who?
All right.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.